Today is October the 7th, 2022. This is Speak On It, a production of Retro Current Team. My name is Malik. Today we're going to get straight to the heart of the matter. There's a situation that's occurring in one of the south suburban areas here where there's a little young man, 13, but you'll hear the news clip. So we're going to start it off with a celebrity that has lived a life, according to him, and his story he's sharing. And I hope that we're not violating any copyright, anything. But his story, I think, is appropriate for the news piece that you will hear after this elder speak. Come on with it, Brother Amara.
I was fortunate because my father was always my biggest supporter. My daddy, man, really surprised me one day because I had a teacher in the 6th grade and we had been out on summer vacation, and when we came back the first day of school, her assignment was write on a piece of paper what you want to be. So I wrote on my paper, I want to be on TV. Shit, I didn't know. Ain't nobody told me I couldn't. Had no adult came along and crushed me. I was 9, I'm a kid, I didn't know you couldn't be. I thought you could be whatever you wanted to be. Ain't nobody never mashed it. So she collects all the papers and she call your name, you stand up, and she tell everybody what you want to be. She said, little Bobby want to be a football player. Little Terry wants to be a doctor. Look here, Sheila wants to be a nurse. Willie wants to be a doctor. And I went, Willie want to be a doctor? Who buying into this right here? Willie can't even read. You know the prescriptions he gonna be writing that's up. It's gonna be a lot of sick people. So she called everybody's name but mine. She got to mine, she said, little Stevie, stand up. So I stood up and she said, come up to the front of the class. And I'm thinking to myself, this is a gold star moment. I'm finna go up here because my answer was better than all the rest of these kids. I'm finna go up here and give me a gold star. So I wore a lot of hand-me-down clothes. So my pants was wrapped around twice, had a belt on, shirt was sloppy looking. You know, kids be laughing and but you know, y'all, I got a gold star. You kiss my and I'm walking up there and I was real skinny. And I was curved like that. I walked like this. They used to call me Tater Chip. So they laughing on the way up there. I'm going to myself, laugh if you want to. Going to get a gold star today. Play a hating ass. So I get up there in front of the class. She said, little Stevie, what did you write on your paper? I said, I want to be on TV. She said, why did you write that on your paper? I said, because that was our assignment for today. She said, but why would you write something like that on the paper? I could tell by her tone. I said, this some right here. This ain't the gold star moment I thought it was. This is some shit. So she said, do you know anybody on TV? I said, no, ma'am. Have you ever seen anybody on TV? I said, but Bill Cosby is on TV. He is on I Spy, and that's why I say I won't be on TV. But do you know Bill Cosby? No, ma'am. You know anybody in this school on TV? No, ma'am. You know anybody in your neighborhood on TV? I said, this dream-killing heifer. I said, no, ma'am. She said, well, I'm gonna pin this note on you, and you gonna wear it home, and I'm gonna call your mother and tell her you up at this school being a little Mr. Smart Aleck. I said, ain't that a you asked me to write this on the paper? I just said that to myself. You know, you couldn't say no like that back then. So she pins this note on me, and she done called my mama, so I can't take it off. I walk in the house, my mama waiting on me. What is that pinned on your coat, mister? I said, I know you know. I didn't say that to her though, I just said. She snatched it off. The teacher called me, said you're being a Mr. Smart Pants. What did you write on the paper? I said, she asked us what we wanted to be, and I wrote I want to be on TV. She said, what you write that on the paper for? I said, I'll be my mama is a dream killer too. This is some right here. I said, well, mama, that's what I want to be. She said, well, that ain't what you supposed to put on your paper. She said, I'm telling your daddy when he get home. And I went, okay, nah, this is really up now, cause this ain't nothing but whooping when he get here. Cause my daddy was the enforcer in the family. When he came on, instant whooping, no questions asked. This how we do it, we roll it. So I'm sitting on steps waiting on him. He come in the house, I go to the store, get his paper. He take a bath, he get through eating. He called me in there. He said, boy, what does your mama say you got a note pen on you at school for? She said, tell him what you wrote on your paper. I said, I want to be on TV. He said, what you write that on paper for? I said, because that's what the teacher asked me. She said, Slick, just whoop him, because he ain't got no business writing that stuff on the paper. He said, what you put on the paper, boy? I said, I want to be on TV. He said, well, what's wrong with that? I said, a reprieve from the governor. This could be a stay of execution. So I sat him there, I said, that's what I want. He said, boy, he said, well, Bill, this boy can be on TV if he want to. No, he can't, Slick. He got to write what that teacher say put on paper. He said, boy, go on in your room. I'm coming in there. I said, okay, well, I'm getting whooping anyway. So he came in the room. I started unbuttoning my pants. He said, hold on, boy. He said, what she want you to write on that paper? I said, like a policeman or something. He said, well, take a piece of paper out, put that on paper. He said, now take that piece of paper, I won't be on TV, and put it in your top drawer. Take that down there and give it to that dream-killing heifer. And what I want you to do is every morning before you go to school, I want you to read that paper. And every night before you go to bed, I want you to read that paper. If you turn your TV on 5 days a week, all because my father just believed in me. He just gave me that one little moment I needed.
Now, you know, I know a lot of Negro men can relate to that. And see, Steve Harvey was not speaking
I'm gonna give you two things.
a script. He was speaking a life experience. See, we know how we have been castrated and castigated. That teacher, female, and your mama. You know what I mean? And you just a little boy, 9 years old, trying to dream, trying to want to be. But they already got it in their minds, sometime including your mama, that you ain't gonna be what you want to be. But you're gonna be what they say you be, and so many times, it's nothing. See, a lot of times, that's why when I listen, particularly in Chicago on this talk radio and these other type of platforms, and listen to all these people run their mouth, and then you wanted to make Steve Harvey a coon because he supported a certain candidate or spoke positive about a candidate that many other celebrities had relationships with. But you dismissed how we used to love him, how we used to look at him, how he used to be funny, how he did, and all of the other things he ever did. But because he did not follow your script, you dismissed his pain. You dismissed his experience. But he was telling the truth for black males. Luckily, he had a father, in that instance anyway, that felt it. And maybe because he was a black male, a man, he understood the trick that if you say what I want to say, a whole lot of creatures will be ran up. He's a chauvinist, he's a this. No, it's the truth. Whole lot of little black boys got aborted in them classrooms.
Glenwood Cougars football program.
Well, I want you to watch what you finna see here.
Fields numerous teams
There's
with
two
players.
different stations, and it didn't happen at the same time as it relates to the station presentation. But this is directly related, in my way of thinking, to the experience that the comedian, the entertainer, the TV star, the movie star, that this old so-called teacher ridiculed. See, you need to understand what's up. No, it ain't that I'm negative. It's just that I just like to remind you sometime of how this happened. You want to talk about the black man ain't this, the black man ain't that, the black man ain't this. Well, you killed him when he was a child. And I was looking for this piece, a poem. What should I tell my children? Couldn't find it. So on the radio show, I actually had a caller to call in, and she mentioned the piece. And then she explained what had happened. Now, they made them drop off the end of it, and now they just say, what shall I call my child? Or what shall I tell my child? You can't say who is black. Dig? What should I tell my children who are black? That's what we remember. But now you creatures done allowed this demon, you understand, to make you accept the fact that you cannot say, what shall I tell my children who are black? Because the black child's story is different, more painfully than any other child in this country. It is. Because everything here think they're superior to him, particularly the male. They had the CEO of the Chicago Public Schools on the radio yesterday, Wednesday morning. Now, he's a Spanish speaker, and he over CPS, and I think the one over the city colleges, either the state, he's Spanish speaking. So you Negroes, you done just basically forfeited everything. Trying to be black and brown, trying to talk about people of color. So somebody asked the question or brought it up that they had got rid of those 14,000 black teachers because they could under a previous administration or so. And they asked, how was they going to address that? So he thought he was saying something intelligent. And he said, well, we've hired 3,000 teachers of color. That was not the question. That was not the question. And we are talking about 14,000 black teachers. And you tell us you done hired 3,000 teachers of color? What are the black teachers? How many of those are black? How many of those are those that are descendants of slaves? And how many of them are Spanish speakers? Ukrainian, Afghans that's got dark skin, huh? Because you already know that a lot of them coming from across the water, when they get here, they make them say, what? They white. But then when you get them down there and you want to bamboozle the Negro, you can call them colored. But that means that Negro, that 14,000 Negroes that you all just killed their careers, killed their professions. Now you done mix that in with people of color. So he going around hiring whoever he want to hire or not hire, but at the end of the day, they just call them people of color. Same thing with the damn police department. Now they say we can't find no black people that want to be the police. So when you ask them about something black, they say, well, we hire people of color. And now you new generations, you want to go back to that. Now there's another piece where Steve Harvey was talking about how they played the Ebonics. We ain't playing that because some of his language was a little bit woo-woo, and I don't want to get caught into that. But the bottom line is this. Back in the day, they made decisions about spending money, and it had a little bit to do with color, race, color. But then they got slick. And they knew that the Negro don't have a race, language. So they started trying to use the Ebonics. Damn, Amari, look on there and see, do you see that piece there with Steve Harvey? It's going to say Ebonics, and he also talking about the gas thing. See if we can get away with him doing that, because they need to hear that. Because the truth is now they pay schools based upon language, so Negroes ain't got no language. But the damn Hispanics can be here, and they can go all the way through high school and still don't learn how to speak no English, and they can't be flunked. But the Negro gets flunked because he can't speak English. Ain't that something? So you was going to give him Ebonics, but your handkerchief head Negro leaders, they aborted that too. Play this.
Fuck ass country.
Roll the dice.
Gas $4 a gallon. Can't even pump gas like you used to no more. $4 a gallon? You remember when you used to go to pump and put the nozzle in there and hit it? Be sitting there talking, be on your phone. Hey, what's happening? Be walking around, cleaning the windshield. Speaking to gay, hey, girl, what's happening? What you doing? Hey, you. Hey, dog, hey, you go in there, bring me a wine cooler. Bring me a cooler, dog. Not no more. Ain't nothing going on at that pump except you and that pump. Your ass is looking at that pump. Give me some. 4401. God! Put $60 in your tank. You get in there and start it up, and you can't believe that damn needle is a quarter tank of gas. So you think I want some more of this here? You got to be out your damn mind. That's the strong thing about America. America always in the labeling. America label everything. Their latest label is Ebonics. That's their new label. They're trying to label the way black folks talk. They're going to call it Ebonics. I got news for you. That ain't just the way black folks talk. You ain't going to put that on just us. Oh, no. We shooting a special in Georgia. Walk around. Strike up some conversation with these folks down here. I'm telling you, it ain't just us. Ebonics is nationwide. Ebonics covers everybody. You ain't going to just blame us for it. The Ebonics, and Ebonics is deep. And see, the reason for Ebonics having to be labeled the way it is because they have to find a way to describe the way we talk. You can't describe how we talk. Black people are a colorful people. Now America is rushing to come up with an Ebonics dictionary. Do you know that Ebonics change every week? I'll tell you one thing, if you do have a dictionary, it better be in pencil. You look at like the word hello. How you gonna put the word hello in the Ebonics dictionary? You know how many ways we got to say hello? It'll take up 5-6 pages. Yeah. Hey, now. What up? Hey, look at you. Hey, what? Hey. And then what about the one that ain't a word at all? How about this here hello?
Just a little something. And just to remind you, you know how funny he is? You know how you used to respect him? But he disagreed as relates to who should go to a certain political position. And all of you holier than thou creatures put him in the tree as a coon. But all he did was tell you the truth. All he did is express what you have experienced. But then we sit back. You sit back. I ain't sitting back. I'm not. And that's why we use Speak On It. And that's why I salute CAN TV. And particularly Amari that sit here and allow me to bring this type of presentation that go to the gut of the hypocrisy in the Negro experience. That man spoke the truth on all of those particular performances. But you label him. Why? Because that creature, them Democrats told y'all to just destroy him like they told that imposter that went to the White House to destroy Dr. Jeremiah Wright. And that's what we good at. And now, this little boy, 13, want to play, just be a child. You understand? But he's smart enough to be in the 10th grade. So he got some doubles. You remember how we used to be so proud in certain families that people got doubles? Well, then, if you just a Negro in Glenwood and a whole lot of other places in Illinois, including Chicago and everywhere else, if you's a Negro boy, you too smart to play. Play this, Brother Amari.
The Glenwood Cougars football program fields numerous teams with players up to 14 years old. Tremaine Gandy Jr. is 13 years old, but he's academically advanced and just enrolled in high school as a sophomore. That's great for his academic progress, but a problem for the football team. The league has suspended the team for having a high school player on the roster.
Here's a young man that is 13 years old doing 10th grade education, and he is being penalized. Not just him, the whole program is being penalized.
League rules clearly state no player shall be registered if he or she is entering high school. The league issued a statement saying it is regrettable to enforce disciplinary action that affects a wider organization. However, each of the 13 franchises in the league have agreed to honor these bylaws in exchange for fair play. The suspension affects all 200 players and cheerleaders in the program.
Football gonna come and go. Your knowledge, your education is gonna always be there. And for them to make this into a negative is not good at all.
Coaches say Tremaine has been in the program since he was 6 years old, and his coaches say he's not physically or emotionally ready to play with other high school sophomores.
I did not know I was causing any harm to the league.
He read a letter of apology to his teammates, but other parents say he has nothing to apologize for.
It bothers me as a parent to see that we should be celebrating something like this kid.
The Cougars still have 4 more games left this season. They intend to play them, though they will all result in forfeits, and they will not be allowed to go to the playoffs unless the board reverses its decision. In Glenwood, John Garcia, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Now, hit the one from the other station there, Amari, because that one's got a little different slant because they got one of the organizations that has stepped in and providing some aid and assistance as it relates to, I guess, community organizing. Something they've always done in the past, and they getting involved in this. But I think one of the things that I want to remind people of, now if this boy would have said he was a transgender, they wouldn't have suspended nobody, unless it was the coach for telling him he was a boy. If this boy would have said he was a girl, they would not have did anything to him, nor the other 200 black victims. You understand? So you just need to pay attention. You did? It's right in your face. A boy can say he's a girl and play on girl sport teams. But a boy that's the right age, but he tests into high school, can't even be a boy and play ball. And then you were celebrating, and we had talked about it the other day, 2 females, coaches at black schools. And you so proud of that. And that's okay. But I still ask the question. You mean to tell me you couldn't find no black males to be the coaches at those schools? See? You see the game they playing? Yes, they playing a game on you, Negro. And you need to snap out of it. This boy here, because he tested high enough to be in high school, they're going to punish him, the team, and the cheerleaders, and everybody. And what the black people in that area should do is snatch every Negro kid in the damn district should stay home and go virtual learning. Make them lose some money until they take that foolishness out of it. Run this piece that talks about Operation.
To a developing story, a suburban youth football team wants to be allowed to compete in the playoffs.
Here's what happened. Their league suspended the entire 8th grade team for having a player who was academically gifted move up early to high school. Apparently, that's a no-no in that league. NBC5's Patrick Fazio has the story from Glenwood.
Glenwood's youth football players want their suspension overturned.
What message are we sending to them? That education is not the right way? No, that's not what we do here in Glenwood.
Glenwood's coach Gary Richardson is upset the league suspended his team over a 13-year-old academically gifted player. Tremaine Gandy Jr. jumped ahead a few grades this year from 7th grade last year.
This is something we should celebrate. He was a 12-year-old in 7th grade, and now he's back in 10th grade. Not 8th, not 9th, but 10th grade.
So the entire team is suspended for having a high school player on the roster, which is against the league rules.
And to have the right to play taken from them is unconscionable, unethical, and somewhat criminal.
The team is getting support from the Rainbow Push Coalition.
There is no sporting organization that has this kind of rule that if you do better in the classroom, you can't play on the field. And so Reverend Jackson and I have made calls to Roger Goodell of the NFL.
Glenwood appreciates all the support as they hope to play again.
Are you ready to play?
Yeah! Patrick Fazio, NBC5 News.
The Southwest Midget Football League
and what you
sent a
Negroes
statement
need to
about
be
this.
saying, are you ready to fight? The audacity in 2022 to be able to do that and think all you got to do is say, that's the rule. No, it ain't that simple. But the truth is, the Negroes will say the little things they'll say, but they're going to let the boy be sacrificed. Because the Negroes are more concerned with adapting and being good slaves to their master system. Yeah. And then you wonder why when I speak with disdain and contempt as relates to those of you that think you are so connected, think you are so smart, think you are the representatives and the spokesperson and gatekeepers of the Negro. No. You ain't worthy. You just another creature, like the demon that has made you what you are. You understand? Why? I don't hear him talking about it nowhere. No, I don't. But then you want to talk about Kanye West and Candace Owens because they say, and they wear on a shirt that says, White Lives Matter. Everybody that's a real Negro knew that all lives matter. Everybody that's a real Negro knew there was some foolishness from the get. Where some rich white man find $3 black creatures that don't even like men, so they say, and put them over something because black men getting killed? Get the hell out of here. It wasn't nothing but a scam. And now all you Negroes running your damn mouth by Kanye and that woman. Because they said what is true. White lives do matter, you dumb butt. Colored? Think. How do you think it's okay to say black lives matter and you can't say white lives matter? When all you should be reaching for is that all lives matter regardless of who takes the life. But when a policeman takes the life of a black criminal and sometimes innocent, then you want to tear up, burn up. And then holler, Black Lives Matter. If Black Lives Matter, damn it, you wouldn't be killing your own kind every time you turn around. You understand that? And then you want to get here and now you want to crucify and do Kanye and this woman like you did Steve Harvey. Because they three sort of supportive of somebody that you didn't approve of because you're a damn Democrat. Go sit your Democratic demon behind down and shut the hell up. You want to run your damn mouth? Go run your mouth about what's happening to that boy out in Glenwood and get off the so-called platforms and stop trying to kill every other person that don't believe what you believe, like Herschel Walker. I'm listening to you Negroes, man. But yet that old bootleg preacher, that piece on there, Omari, it's a YouTube piece talking about this dude down there in Atlanta running for the Senate. Now here's a dude here, we're going to pay about 3 minutes to that. And what it does, it will give you an idea of how we are such hypocrites. Here's a dude here that sounds just like that female that ain't even a Negro, Harris, Kamala Harris. When this brother asked this dude here about reparations, watch him. And you gonna tell me that clown is more significant, is more righteous than Herschel Walker, who at 18 said, look here, he was advised by a coach, you might not want to get off into politics and race things right now because you got a career. That was a good advice. So he grew up, he followed his career, and he made millions. And he was good, he's still good, until he said, I'm going to run as another party that you Negroes has deemed Negroes can't be involved in. So now you done found one of them little offsprings that he has to help throw dirt on it. That ain't got nothing to do with it. That ain't got nothing to do with the Negro as a whole. But this one that you want to be re-elected, play this, Omar, to show these how ridiculous they are.
We're going to review this, video that was posted to social media. Shout out to the brother that posted this video, Nas Escobar 316. You have an election coming up in Georgia, and we know we have Raphael Warnock and we have Herschel Walker. I'm going to tell you what. Let's review this, and then I'll give you my take on what I would do if I was a voter in Georgia in the black community. But let's go ahead on and cue this up.
My question is, it seems that we're always dealing with the symptoms of the problems instead of the bigger issues. And it seems that's one of the issues that could kind of fix all the issues is talking about reparations. And we don't talk about reparations enough in this country. And the last that I checked, the House had gotten the HB 40 past committee. And as far as I can tell, that's where it stopped. And I know you're in the Senate, so I'm not sure what you can do about that. But I did just wonder what you could do to further that cause in America right now.
All right. So you heard what he said. He's asked him about reparations. The question is about reparations. The question is about anything else but reparations. Okay. We just wanted to establish he asked him about reparations because we need to get down to the nitty gritty. The problem with black folks in America is an economic problem. And the reason why we have an economic problem is because of the historical sabotage of black Americans. Because let's say, okay, throw away slavery. after slavery, Reconstruction. Every time that black people have built whole towns, not a neighborhood, whole towns, black people have built business districts, etc. Here come the white supremacists destroying and sabotaging everything that we've even built. Even our churches, they bombed and burned down, and all different things they've done to us. Every time you had a black man who would get up in America, he would be looked at as uppity, and he'd be the main one targeted to get attacked or, taken out of here. Okay? That has been our story in America when it comes to economics. Sabotage. That's been the story. So it's going to take economics to get black people in the right position. Nothing else is going to do it. So let's hear with Raphael Warnock. This is the guy that wants the black vote. This guy right here. I want you to pay attention to what he says.
So there is a bill to study the issue of reparations. Here's what I'm for. Equity.
What? What is he talking about? What is he talking about? He said reparations. The man didn't ask you about equity. He didn't ask you about that. He asked you about reparations. Oh, but it gets better. Let's keep going.
And opportunity. And I wake up every day fighting for that. And I do it in such a way that I think benefits all of us. But when you look at the issue of healthcare, for example,
equity in healthcare. Okay, last time I checked, the man asked about reparations. That's what I heard. That's what you heard, right? Reparations. He didn't say nothing about equity. He didn't say anything about healthcare. Let's continue.
We can get Medicaid expanded.
Medicare for all.
It would help all of us if we could get Medicaid expanded, if we could get a fix. But it would have a disproportionate impact on communities of color.
Oh, God. Y'all, if anything else, we're going to drill into your heads. When you hear those terms, communities of color, people of color, everybody, all people, they're not talking about black America. This man was asked a direct question from a black American about reparations that's owed to his descendants and that he needs to benefit from due to the economic terrorism and physical terrorism that has been done to black Americans in this country. And this bootlicking preacher here is going to sit up here and talk about equity and health care and everybody and communities of color. How are we supposed to be voting for that?
All right, that's good enough for that.
How?
You get the point. Now,
why would you go and vote for?
No, and I know, they don't want you to talk about this type of stuff. They ain't gonna run it on Facebook and other places because it's political. But let me tell you something. We ain't talking about none of that. I want you to think for a minute. You mean to tell me, here's a dude that got elected, and when he got elected, that was a white person. I almost think it was the Jewish person that got elected too down there. I ain't heard nothing about that other white person that got elected, but everybody's using this Herschel Walker thing because he's probably identified as being conservative. And just because you're conservative don't mean you are a Republican, or mean you are a sellout, or mean you are any of this stuff that these so-called Democrats that made you other Democratic Negroes think. Now, Herschel Walker, and don't tell me nothing about that mess that boy talking about and the abortions and all of that. That's some private business that the dude dealt with or didn't deal with. But the bottom line is this. That creature there that you've already elected, that's your enemy type. He wouldn't even address what the Negro man asked him, and that was reparations. He went into the script that the Democrats gave him, just like that female Kamala Harris. When they asked her about reparations, she said, whatever other people benefit from, it benefits the Negro. you lying creature. It don't. So we don't have to do nothing special for him. And she told you, we ain't gonna do nothing special for him. And so did that imposter that went to the White House that you love so much. Wouldn't do nothing special for the Negro, but everybody else, they give them what is fair. But they give you words like equity. What the hell is that? Like people of color, some slave action, for sure. Some Jim Crow, for sure. Some Mr. Buzzard, for sure. That's what they give you. And you sit here and hide behind a word called Democrat, and anybody that don't echo that, you want to castigate, castrate, lynch. You need to get on a tree, put your belt around your neck, and jump, Negro. Because you got one in the White House right now that said he was a Klansman once upon a time and probably still is. But you love him to death because he's a what? Democrat. But you hate somebody like a young man like Herschel Walker that's just trying to get into the game and who might even do the best he can, and you got this bootleg, bojangling ass preacher telling you that he can't even address the word reparation, and he from down in Georgia. They need to send him back to the damn plantation. And then you want to hide behind the fact, well, he's at the church Martin Luther King was at. Martin Luther King need to get up out of his grave and take his damn bones and beat this creature's behind. You can't even address the word because you become a puppet. And then y'all say that he is so much better than Herschel Walker, only because Herschel Walker is identified with somebody you all don't like. And anytime you ask you, why don't you like Trump? Well, he paid for a full-page paper when 5 black boys was innocent, da-da-da-da-da. Damn it. Whole bunch of politicians done bombed up whole cities, whole communities, burnt down whole towns, and they was Democrats. And all you can tell me is what Trump put in a paper. It ain't about Trump. It ain't about Biden. It's about the insanity that Negroes have allowed themselves to be maneuvered into, and that's their business. But when every time another person, like Scott, Tim Scott, Judge, anybody that speaks their truth, particularly in Chicago, they got this cabal, man, and these suckers just talk and I'm listening, I'm saying, what the hell? No, we ain't going. I'm gonna call it back out on you. You's a bunch of damn buffoons, and ain't nobody scared of you niggas. You don't just go around and you get on wherever you get, and you just killing this boy, trying to just make him nothing. Talking about Herschel Walker. What the hell? Why? And you got one there that ain't doing nothing for you. Why? Like I said earlier, this boy, Kanye and that gal. Why? They can say what they want, can't they? That man, Clarence Thomas. Why? Get the hell up out of here. Hit that piece, Amari, by that little girl.
Guest, when she was just 3 years old, she performed a poem called Hey Black Child.
Hey Black Child by County Cullen. Hey Black Child, do you know who you are? Who you really are? Do you know you can be where you want to be if you try to be what you can be? Hey Black Child, do you know where you're going? Where you're really going? Do you know you can learn what you want to learn if you try to learn what you can learn?
Wow, the video went viral with over 10 million views and counting. Let's catch up with her. Welcome back, Peyton Jackson. Hi, Peyton.
Hi, Peyton.
Hi.
Peyton, do you even remember coming on our show when you were 3 years old?
Actually, I do. I remember everyone saying, look at her dramatic walk when I walked up there.
Yeah, you are all grown up now. How old are you and what have you been up to?
Well, I'm 10. For my birthday, I didn't expect it, but I had a surprise party.
All right, Amari.
You did. When was your
Would
birthday?
you find that piece,
It was
Amari?
July 22nd.
It's real brief. Where his brother is dealing with his little son with the affirmation. And then that piece is, let me look at here. That piece is a good piece, and there's another one that we're going to end with. That piece I'm talking about here, African diaspora.
Brilliant.
Yes, sir.
Are you brilliant?
Yes, sir.
Are you
Yes, sir.
intelligent?
Yes, sir.
Are you great?
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 Yes, sir.
Good job, boy. Will you change the world?
Yes, sir.
Will you change the world?
Yes, sir.
Will you make this world a better place?
Yes, sir.
Will you make this world a better place?
Yes, sir.
Pick your head up. Head up.
Now watch. Somebody gonna write in with a complaint. They gonna say that was abuse. But that's what the black man need to do with his children, particularly his male children. That's what he need to do. But what do you want to do? You want to say no. Tell the bell boy that he's too smart. Now, Mari, it's something I think I placed this morning. It's about these women that's buying guns. That it should be up there. Yeah, it'll be, yeah. I'm looking here, but a lot of stuff we ain't gonna get to because of the fact that we did some things that was not on the agenda. There will be a picture with these women, and it's very significant because the way they talking about these guns, I think it's something people need to understand here. Now, in the meantime, while Amari is looking for it, something you need to understand, they're saying that a lot of guns that's being bought now are being bought by women. And I don't want to just say black women, a whole lot of women. We can't play that one tomorrow. It's just too, that whole culture, and I just can't promote it, although I would like to play it, but the words are just a little bit too far. And I know, you know, I don't mind going raw, but I don't want to go that raw because that's too insane. This piece here, I almost want to, well, why don't we just run a piece, and I'm going to find this, yes, that's important. I'm going to find this thing as it relates in my, run this piece. And while you running this tomorrow,
Be the leader. That's why you can't find a man.
Because this is something you need right here. But this other piece, you need to see this.
Oh, real talk. I salute that. Yeah, because we need more of that. You know what I mean? We need more men to stand up and lead the way. Most women are trying to be the leader. That's why you can't find a man. You can't be the king in the house. Fall back and be the queen and let your man lead the way. So I salute you for that.
What does that mean? You can't be a leader? Because a lot of women look at it like, no, I could lead in my household. I could do this in my household. What does that mean?
That's not how it's supposed to be, and that's why we bump heads. And I feel like it's a generational thing. And we could talk, we can go real deep on that, and I don't need to start that, but it's a generational curse. And how society have placed our men. And women have to stand up and be the mother and the father and the provider. And so then now you are so bad, you can't be told nothing, that when the right man come, you lose him because you're trying to be the man. I was finna say,
right,
man.
Can we be equal?
Oh, of course. Because at the end of the day, I'm the neck, my man's the head. So he can't make any moves without his wife. You know what I mean? It all works together. But you can't be the head of the house. You got to let the man be the head of the house. But it's a generational thing, and it's what we've been taught. To stand up, be strong, be the, you know what I mean? And a dude come and everything about you is like a man.
Sometimes we have no choice, though.
But that's what I was saying. It's a generational thing, and it's what society has. They do that on purpose.
So you think women have to fall back a little for their man? Is that what you think?
You have to learn how to submit. You can still be a queen. Queen plays a part. The king needs his queen. It's certain things that he can't see that we see.
Some people will say the queen is the most valuable piece on the board.
Come on, anybody play chess?
It is, yeah.
Okay.
'Cause
My
the king
husband's
can't
teaching
move
me
like
how
the
to play
queen
chess.
moves.
Yeah, I mean, we work together, but the queen has to sit back and allow her king to be the king.
Now, what about in a situation where a woman makes more money in a relationship?
That's hard because that's when jealousy starts coming in. That's when, you know what I mean? And that goes back to communicating and prayer. Because if a woman, you know, if you're solid, you know who you are, you know what you bring to the table. A lot of times money breaks up relationships. Money is the root of all evil. It is. So everybody's thinking about the wrong things. Instead of falling back and sitting and saying, let's play chess together. I got you. You got me. Let's go.
But, you know, in a relationship, a lot of times, especially, you know, with so many independent women out there and doing their own thing. And now with an independent woman who's, let's say, a boss, who has their own job, pays their own bills, their own crib, their own car. Now they meet a guy, and it's hard to a woman to, as you would say, submit to a man because they're already in that position. They're already their own boss. Yeah. You know, so what happens in that situation?
Listen, I had to go through it. When I met my husband, like, I was taking care of everything. I took care of my whole family. Like, it was me, right? So now I'm meeting a man that's coming in, and he's, like, intelligent, very smart, self-educated. My husband's a felon, but he turned it all around, and he owned his own business, right? And so I wasn't used to that. I was a pop-off, quick with the mouth, smart. But it took a man like him to sit me down, look me in my eyes, and talk to me like I was supposed to be talked to and say, I'm here now. You don't have to do all of that. Pass it over to me and let me take care of it. But it wasn't easy because I had been doing it for so many years.
And it's hard to trust people. You got to trust yourself to handle things and to allow somebody else when we've been doing things a certain way for so long and having to hold it down. Sometimes it is hard to give that up.
Yeah, it is.
But it's good to know that you still can handle things when need be, you know?
Well, Amari, the piece I'm looking for is right below Fantasia. You'll see it as those women standing there, and that'll be the piece we was looking for, and it's right under her. The piece you just played is right under her. In the meantime, one of the things that we won't do today, because it's pretty long, but we're going to deal with it because it's sort of like the person that died recently, Samuel, whatever his name was, some more black personalities are speaking and facilitating conversation as it relates to women. Right there, that's the one, Omar. We want you to look at this and just tap that first one. Yeah, that one there. And this is worth your time looking at. Well, while he cleaning this up, what they're gonna talk about is how some people.
While Brandy Joseph readies her classroom and safety waivers get signed, we'll set the scene for you. These women, now in their early 50s,
I see myself, but I don't know if they can see that tomorrow.
While Brandy Joseph readies her classroom and safety waivers get signed, we'll set the scene for you. These women, now in their early 50s, are childhood friends from Los Angeles.
And your caliber is right here. It is a .22 caliber.
Their Saturday social, Firearms 101. Perhaps surprising considering most of these women politically lean left.
Do you have some friends who will be totally turned off by this?
Absolutely.
They won't be happy.
Not at all.
How do you deal with that?
Not my problem. That's their choice. Exercising my choice. You push down and not in.
After a thorough intro, they're off to the firing line.
Phones, I don't want to see them out. I need you to be paying attention to what we're about to do.
We noticed Jamie Beverly, paying attention but seemingly uneasy.
How are you feeling?
Seeing all the guns on the table, I was like, ugh.
Do you think it's going to make you feel safer?
Yeah, I think, when you have knowledge of stuff, it makes you safer.
Would you ever want to carry?
I don't think so.
Rack your slide one time to get your cartridge back. Perfect. Any questions? Nope. Guns down.
Laranya Day organized this friends outing with a personal purpose.
Our society and our climate is changing, and just better to be prepared for your own safety and protection is how we feel.
They are not alone. At Burro Canyon Shooting Park, just east of LA, we met Jessica Mendez.
I'm a Mexican woman in a same-sex relationship. I need to feel safe. I need to feel protected.
Her wife, Grecia Regalado, at first wanted nothing to do with guns.
Your first experience hearing what we're hearing right now, gunshots, you were not taking it very well.
Yeah, just the sound, the vibrations of each impact, it made me feel very scared.
Be as mechanical as the gun is.
Tom Nguyen began training the couple last year with a focus on self-protection.
The more I educate folks who are formerly anti-gun, the more they actually realize that there's more nuance to it.
Do you see an opening here that perhaps on a national level, the dialogue can happen?
I hope so. And I think the tide's turning. It's absolutely turning because the past 2 years, it's been unprecedented, the types of folks that are buying guns.
While white men have the highest rates of gun ownership in the U.S., one survey showed that in the first half of 2021, roughly 90% of retailers saw a surge in gun sales to African Americans. And about 80% of retailers reported an increase in firearm purchases by Hispanic and Asian Americans.
There you go.
Living in California, a state with some of the toughest gun laws, Jessica tells me she's more comfortable talking about her relationship than about her guns.
I definitely am more closeted in being a gun owner.
Really?
For fear of retaliation.
Do you worry that you're glamorizing or glorifying gun ownership?
It's something that I really, really try not to do it. Even just like wearing shirts that have like guns on them. I don't do that because I don't want people to think that it's just like an accessory.
Back on the Fortune Firearms Ranch,
And I love what I do.
firearms instructor and dealer Brandy Joseph noticing the changing clientele.
There is a huge uptick in female owners. Women are getting trained. Women are carrying.
Liberal and conservative.
Liberal and conservative.
Data from Harvard found that more than half of new gun owners are likely to be women.
You're gonna go up, pull your trigger, boom, back to your frame.
Nearly 2 hours into their training, these women ready to pull the trigger.
Slowly pull your trigger. Perfect.
After class, the group seemingly more comfortable.
Is it strange to think for some of you that you know how to load and handle those weapons?
Yes. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Jamie Beverly.
Yeah, I'm still Larry. I don't think I would purchase.
Yeah.
The others ready to be armed.
I just feel liberated.
Do you think you'll feel safer if you're carrying?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
With all the things that you see on the news, like things are happening more in so many public areas, movie theaters, Walmarts, grocery stores. It's like there's no limit now.
Now think about it now.
CNN's
That's a
Melissa
good
Bell
thing.
has exclusive reporting from
Yes, it
Russia.
is. But you let some Negro males go somewhere talking about they collectively taking some gun classes and see when they all become targets. But now those women, yeah. I hope all families, Negroes, start training, doing what they got to do to have their families gun ready trained. But the way it is now, the black male better not be seen near a gun. Now he become a different type of situation. And the way women are acting now, I hope they won't become part of the white Democratic militia and use the guns against the black males. I just wonder why they allowing them to be trained. Because you know they ain't training them to use guns against them. They training them to use them against you and your descendants and their own children and grandchildren. But keep getting trained, y'all. Run that piece with me in that tree, Brother Omar. It's real quick, just a little something. And I want you all to look at it because, you know, every now and then I want to show you a little bit of what I'm doing when I'm out here in these streets watching and trying to provide some type of support. Run this piece tomorrow. Now, let me say this before we run. Now, I want you to look at that. She's back. Remember her from last year. Look at how beautiful she is now, huh? Mm-hmm. Beautiful, huh? Look at them eyes, look at that nose, look at that mouth. Ain't no human hands touch
Mother Nature.
that. Mother Nature. Power of nature. Now see, this is just an apart. It's going through some changes. You know what I'm saying? Now you want to say something now with me. A sucker thinks you can diagnose more complete. Dude, I do just like they did in that movie, The Lord of the Rings. You remember when them trees start walking? The blood is. And start fighting in that battle? You see that? Don't they remind you of the man in the Lords of the Ring? So the reason I show you some of these things about what we're seeing, and I know you don't want to see it, but I said it before, if I was a white person or Asian or Hispanic and was able to see those images in trees, oh man, it would be something. But because I'm a Negro and you look at me and say, oh, that's just some old voodoo, woo-woo, But know this, you know it's almost Halloween, don't you? You see how beautiful that creature was? Ain't nobody painted that tree. No, they cut a limb from the tree. So that limb, the suffering, the harm they did to that tree, produced that image you see. But no, you think it's something spooky. It ain't spooky. Now, you don't have to believe that it's there, but it's there. And no, I'm not going to keep it from you. Go back to that and let them look at it while I finish this up, because we ain't going to play nothing else after that, Omar. I just want to use this picture for a minute to deal with these damn Negroes that think they can judge everybody. The tree. Go back to the tree, because I let them cut off their TV. Let it come on up.
September the 27th, 2022.
Let them see that. That is not caused by a man.
Remember her from last year.
You see that spot in the top of his head? That was a limb. And just imagine that's the blood, that's the pain of the tree. And what that did is created that face there. You see them eyes, you see them. You see that nose, you see it. You see that mouth, you see it. You see that hair. Blonde, though. That's what happens. See? So when you say God made man in his image, God didn't only make man in his image. God made the image of man in tree and other things. How I know? Because I'm showing it to you. Look at it. Call me what you want to call me. Yeah, I'm a Boca Nun, and I have no apology for that. And I thank God that I'm allowed to be able to see this and show it to you. Now run and tell that. Until next week, alafia, peace, and good health.